We live in a world that loves dramatic transformation stories, the kind where someone changes overnight, where a single decision turns their life around in a flash. But here's the truth most people don't talk about. Real, lasting change rarely happens in a single, cinematic moment. It's not the big events that shape us the most. It's the small, quiet, almost invisible choices we make every single day. Think about it. The person you are today is the sum of the things you've done repeatedly, not the one big thing you did once. Every yes and every no, every extra hour you stayed committed to your work, every time you chose to get up instead of sleeping in, every moment you pushed through instead of giving up, those are the things that build the walls of your mental fortress. It's in the choice to drink water instead of reaching for another soda. It's in the decision to call someone you've been avoiding because the conversation might be uncomfortable. It's in deciding to finish the task even when no one would know you stopped early. The beauty of these small choices is that they don't require huge resources or talent. They require consistency. And consistency builds trust. Trust in yourself. When you consistently show up for the little things, you prove to yourself that you can show up for the big ones now. Here's the part most people miss. The results are invisible at first. You can go to the gym today and look exactly the same in the mirror tomorrow. You can read for 20 minutes tonight and not feel like you've become a genius by morning. And that's why so many people quit. They want fireworks. But the work of mental strength is more like planting seeds. You don't see the sprout right away, but under the surface, things are changing. Roots are taking hold. A structure is forming, unseen but unstoppable. And then, one day, something blooms. You face a crisis and realize you're calmer than you would have been a year ago. You're offered an opportunity and you're ready to say yes without fear. That is the harvest of small, daily choices. Owning your morning, how you begin your day, is one of the most underestimated factors in building mental strength. A strong morning doesn't just happen by accident, it's built with intention. And here's the thing. The way you spend the first hour of your day is a preview of how the rest of it will go. If you start your day in chaos, grabbing your phone the moment you open your eyes, scrolling through everyone else's lives before you've even thought about your own, you're already letting the outside world set the tone for your day. But if you begin with clarity, gratitude, and a sense of purpose, you create a rhythm that protects you from the noise. Owning your morning doesn't mean waking up at 5 a.m. if that's not realistic for you. It means deciding that however you wake up, you start with practices that align you with the person you want to be. For some, that's meditation. For others, it's journaling. For some, it's reading something uplifting or reviewing their goals. Gratitude is a powerful place to start. Before your feet even touch the floor, list 3 things you're thankful for. They don't have to be grand. In fact, the smaller and more specific, the better. The smell of your morning coffee, the fact that someone believes in you, the quiet in your room before the world wakes up. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present. Next, set your intention for the day. This isn't a to-do list, it's a mindset choice. Decide who you want to be in every interaction. Do you want to be patient? Do you want to be bold? Do you want to be focused? When you declare it, you create a mental filter that shapes your behavior for the rest of the day. And then, move your body even if it's just for 5 minutes. Stretch, breathe deeply, get your blood moving. This isn't about burning calories. It's about waking up your body so your mind can work at its best. When you own your morning, you tell yourself, I am the author of this day. And that's not just a habit, it's a declaration of power. We often think of movement as something we do for our bodies to lose weight, to look a certain way, to fit into a certain size. But the truth is, movement is medicine for the mind. Your body and your mind are not 2 separate machines. They are deeply connected. One affects the other in ways most people never realize. When you move, you're not just stretching muscles. You're releasing the tension your thoughts have been holding. You're creating space for clarity. You're telling yourself, I am alive. I am capable. I am in control. Think about the last time you felt stressed or stuck. Your mind was probably racing, looping the same problem over and over. But if you took a walk, even for just 10 minutes, something shifted. Your thoughts untangled. Your perspective softened. That's because movement changes your brain chemistry literally. It releases endorphins, lowers stress hormones, and makes space for fresh thinking. And here's the best part. You don't need a fancy gym membership or expensive equipment. Your body is already the tool. A morning stretch, a set of push-ups, a dance in your kitchen, a walk around the block, all of it counts. The point isn't perfection, it's consistency. Start small. Commit to moving your body every single day, not because you have to, but because you get to. See it as a gift you give yourself. Over time, you'll notice that it's not just your body that's getting stronger, it's your mind's ability to handle challenges, stay focused, and bounce back faster. Movement trains your body to endure, and that endurance spills into every part of your life. You learn to keep going when things get hard, not just on the mat or on the road, but in conversations, in projects, in moments when giving up would be easier. Nourishing the mind. If you walked into a kitchen and saw spoiled food on the counter, you wouldn't think twice about throwing it away. You know it's not safe to eat. But here's the thing, so many of us consume spoiled thoughts every single day without realizing it. We allow gossip, negativity, and fear-driven news to fill our minds, then wonder why we feel anxious, unmotivated, or drained. What you feed your mind is just as important as what you feed your body. You wouldn't pour dirty water into a glass and then try to drink it. So why allow toxic ideas, voices, and beliefs to pour into your mind and expect to feel clear and focused? Your mind needs good fuel, ideas that inspire, stories that challenge your perspective, conversations that light something up in you. This doesn't mean you have to live in a bubble of fake positivity. It means you choose your input with intention. Start noticing what you consume, the books you read, the shows you watch, the people you listen to. Ask yourself, does this lift me up or pull me down? Does this make me feel capable or helpless? If it drains you, limit it. If it strengthens you, seek more of it. Reading is one of the simplest and most powerful ways to nourish your mind. Even 10 minutes a day can shift your thinking. And it doesn't have to be self-help books all the time. Biographies, history, fiction that stirs your imagination. They all feed your creativity and resilience. And be mindful of the conversations you keep. If you spend your time with people who constantly complain, you'll eventually carry their tone without realizing it. But if you surround yourself with people who dream, plan, and take action, their energy will shape yours. Most people run from discomfort as if it's the enemy. They avoid it, cover it up, and distract themselves from it. But if you look closely at every person you admire for their strength, you'll notice one thing they have in common. They've learned how to make friends with discomfort. Discomfort is not here to break you, it's here to build you. It's the weight in the gym that tears the muscle so it can grow back stronger. It's the cold water that wakes up your senses. It's the honest feedback that stings for a moment but saves you from a bigger mistake. The truth is, every time you step into discomfort willingly, you train your mind to handle the unknown. You prove to yourself that you can survive awkward conversations, tough workouts, moments of uncertainty, and even failure. Start small. Take a cold shower once a week. Speak up in a meeting even when your voice shakes. Say yes to an opportunity before you feel ready. Each time you do, you'll notice something powerful. The fear before the act is always bigger than the discomfort itself. When you train yourself to face discomfort instead of running from it, life stops feeling like something that's happening to you and starts feeling like something you're actively shaping. The more you embrace discomfort, the less power it has over you, the quiet within. In a world that's always buzzing, pinging, and demanding your attention, silence feels unnatural at first. We're so used to filling every empty moment with noise, scrolling through our phones, playing music, talking, watching, reading, that the idea of simply being still feels strange. But here's the truth. Silence is where mental strength is forged. When you give yourself moments of quiet, you create space to hear your own thoughts, your own truth, your own wisdom. Without it, your mind is just an echo chamber for everyone else's opinions. You don't need hours of meditation to find this quiet. You just need intentional pauses. Sit in your car for 2 minutes before going into work. Turn off the TV while you eat. Take a walk without headphones. Let your thoughts rise and fall without trying to grab onto them. In the beginning, your mind will resist. It will tell you there's something else you should be doing. It will reach for distraction the way a smoker reaches for a cigarette. But if you keep returning to that quiet, something shifts. You begin to notice patterns in your thinking. You spot the lies you've been telling yourself. You hear the voice that says, you're capable of more. This quiet isn't just peace, it's power. Because when the noise of the world fades, you can finally hear your own courage. Every day of your life is speaking to you. The question is, are you listening? We tend to think of lessons as something we only get from big events, a graduation, a job change, a heartbreak. But the truth is, some of the most valuable lessons come from the smallest moments. Maybe you lost your patience in traffic today. That's a lesson in self-control. Maybe you finally spoke up in a meeting. That's a lesson in courage. Maybe you missed an opportunity because you hesitated. That's a lesson in preparation. The day is constantly handing you feedback, both gentle and hard. When you take a moment to reflect, even for just 5 minutes at night, you start to see patterns. You notice what makes you come alive and what drains you. You see where you're growing and where you keep tripping. You can't improve what you don't notice. Reflection turns your life into a living classroom. Every success becomes a blueprint. Every mistake becomes a stepping stone, and every challenge becomes a chapter in your strength story. The key is to stay curious. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? Ask, what is this here to teach me? That single shift turns frustration into fuel, becoming your own biggest promise keeper. We often think about trust in terms of relationships with other people, but the most important trust you'll ever build is with yourself. Every time you keep a promise to yourself, no matter how small, you strengthen that trust. And every time you break one, you chip away at it. Think about it. If you had a friend who constantly said they'd show up and never did, how much would you rely on them? The same principle applies internally. When you tell yourself you'll wake up early, or eat better, or finish that project, and you follow through, you're proving to yourself that your word means something. This isn't about perfection. You're human. You'll miss some marks, but when you consistently keep the promises that matter most, your self-respect grows, and self-respect is the soil in which all other strengths grow. Start with small, achievable promises. Drink that glass of water first thing in the morning. Read for 5 minutes before bed. Go for a walk after lunch. Then, as you build that trust, you can take on bigger commitments with confidence. The moment you realize you can count on yourself, you stop needing the world to validate you. You speak more clearly. You make decisions with conviction. You step into challenges with the quiet assurance that no matter what happens, you've got your own back.